So we knew Gavin Newsom's policies were a dumpster fire for California, but we had no idea how literal that was.
So this is an entire...
A witness filmed firefighters battling the raging flames.
Entirely. This whole street. Gone.
This is insane. Apparently, Trump is calling out Gavin Newsom for policy decisions that have played a large role in what we're seeing right now in California. Oh my God, it looks like hell. Staff at a senior care center had to push patients out on wheelchairs and hospital beds into a parking lot before loading them into ambulances to take them to safety. Wow, this is a nightmare. This is like Raccoon City Resident Evil stuff.
Hi there, how many more horses do you have?
We have a couple we just let loose over there. We're trying to get as many as we can out.
Could save all of them. President Trump goes off on Gavin Newsom over his role in the catastrophic Southern California wildfires. President Trump has weighed in on the ongoing natural disaster engulfing Southern California, and California Governor Gavin Newsom will not like what he has to say. As the Gateway Pundit reported, a massive 3,000-acre wildfire raged out of control and engulfed homes in the Pacific Palisades, California on Tuesday afternoon. Shocking and heartbreaking footage has emerged, showing people abandoning their cars and running for their lives as the fires close in. Tragically, several individuals have lost their entire livelihoods and even their lives over the past several hours as the fires show no signs of abating. Meanwhile, firefighters are having issues with water pressure.
In further developments, firefighters battling the LA wildfire warned that they were running out of water and supplies. Fire hydrants have reportedly run dry, leaving them unable to battle the spreading fire. Residents are pointing to city mismanagement as resources failed to arrive. Meanwhile, tankers full of water have been dousing the flames from the skies before being grounded amidst deteriorating wind conditions and visibility.
Now, see, this is where I'm thinking what Trump is talking about relating to Gavin Newsom's policies start to play a role. But you guys tell me what you think. How responsible for what we're seeing in California are Gavin Newsom and the policies that he supported and his coalition supported in the Californian state government? A 772-acre brush fire erupted Tuesday morning in the Pacific Palisades, prompting an evacuation order and burning several homes as a powerful windstorm battered the region. The quick-moving fire was reported shortly before 10:30 a.m. in the 1100 block of North Piedra Mirada Drive, just north of the Palisades Hills Recreation Center, sending a massive plume of smoke that rose above the Santa Monica Mountains. A massive contingent of Los Angeles County and city firefighting resources were deployed to the scene, including helicopters and super scoopers. Yeah, thank God they got the super scoopers out, man. I was worried about that. In a statement released at 11:13 a.m., Pepperdine University noted that fire officials predicted the fire had the potential to spread to as many as 200 acres in the next 20 minutes as the winds pushed it from the northeast towards the Pacific Ocean. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you enjoy being here. The fire would not be so severe, though, had California politicians led by Newsom actually utilized common sense solutions such as clearing out the dead brush in the woods and filling the state's depleted aquifers with water. You would think that'd be obvious. Clear the brush, keep the aquifers full? Like, is that a question? Aren't there already systems in place for limiting and preventing the spread of these wildfires anyway? Yeah, it's called woodland fire line construction. And California has the resources to do this. They could create sectors of their forest where they're protected and a fire can only spread so far, almost like a submarine, where if there's a leak in one part, they're able to seal that off to protect the rest of the ship. Look at how well documented this is. A land manager's guide for creating fire-resistant forests. Man, when I see all this stuff together like this, it makes me think that they're doing it on purpose. It's like they want us to buy into the global warming narrative, and that's part of the reason why they do all this stuff. Oh, California's on fire again. Oh my God. Global warming must be getting so bad. Ignore our policies. Ignore our regulations. Ignore the roles that we play in something that is so easy to avoid. I don't know if that's the vibe it gives you guys, but that is 100% the vibe it gives me. Especially when I read stuff like the state instead ignored the science and catered to radical environmentalists allegedly due to a tiny fish called smelt.
These tiny, translucent fish are called delta smelt. While it's impossible to point to one thing as the cause of the delta smelt's decline, one notable problem is that its home is an important source of water for the state.
There's over 2,000 water diversions in the delta, It's the hub for about 25 million people's water supply.
Pumps move fresh water from the Delta to cities and farms across California. They also sometimes move Delta smelt out of their homes and into the aqueducts where they can't survive. Pumping restrictions go into effect during certain times of the year to prevent these losses and to protect the environmental health of the Delta.
Okay, so now we know why the aquifers were not as full as they should be. They're limiting how much water can be extracted for the aquifer due to the Delta smelt. Now we know why the fire is raging so bad, worse than it should be. They don't clear dead brush and they don't construct and maintain fire lines to create strategic borders that would limit the expanse of a forest fire. But how much you want to bet the news is going to come out with global warming rhetoric left and right? See, this is why Trump won the election. Love him or hate him, he's got the balls to call it out. Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snowmelt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including areas that are not currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. Trump wrote on Truth Social. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt by giving it less water. Okay, I don't think he understands quite what that whole dynamic was, but that's not the relevant part. But he didn't care about the people of California, Trump added. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is to blame for this. On top of it all, no water for fire hydrants, not firefighting planes. A true disaster. Yo, it turns out Trump actually knows what he's talking about with some of this stuff. Trump's anger over the issue is particularly heightened by the fact that during his first term, he warned Newsom to take care of the forest fires with controlled burns to prevent out-of-control fires, and the fact that he issued a new rule to send more water to the state. But Newsom ignored Trump on controlled burns, and California successfully sued Trump for allegedly running over the state's water rights. Watch CNN cope so hard trying to spin this obvious narrative.
Trying to explain water politics in California is almost impossible. It goes back generations. Santa Ana wins. And
the fact that it hasn't rained.
And it hasn't rained. It's been very dry in California. This is a dynamic that has existed in this state forever. It's why it is a beautiful state, and it is also a state of tragedy repeatedly.
Lady, what the hell are you talking about?
I should say I grew up there too.
Okay, yeah, this is starting to make sense.
Native.
Yes, but usually what happens, as we all know, when there is a national and natural disaster is that you say good things about them. Now is usually not the time for politics.
What do you guys think? With rhetoric like this, is CNN learning their lesson at all? Or do they just have no hope of ever really recovering their audience? And are we watching the death throes of legacy media? The crazy thing is that Arnold Schwarzenegger, of all people, warned Gavin Newsom years ago. Did y'all know he was recalled years ago? Gavin Newsom, a failed recall. And Arnold Schwarzenegger warned him that people were not happy.
In 2003, outages and a severe energy crisis led to the recall of Democratic incumbent Governor Gray Davis.
I, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
do solemnly swear.
Replaced by Republican Arnold Schwarzenegger. The former California governor now warning Governor Newsom of a similar fate, telling Politico despite the 2-decade difference between administrations, it's pretty much the same atmosphere today as it was then. There was dissatisfaction to the highest level.
And that recall might have failed, but California is getting more red by the day.
Harris campaign feeling the disappointment after underperforming in many states.
Yeah, one of those, her home state right here in California. Harris pulling in a little more than 50% of support from voters in the Golden State. That would be the lowest that a Democrat has performed since the election in 2004. And the Trump campaign actually flipped several counties in our area versus the 2020 election.
From Reform California, key political shift detected in California's 2024 election results. If election day voting trends continue, California Republicans will have a reason to cheer and continue their fight to restore political balance in the deep blue state. Part of this national red wave manifested in California, where Republicans showed surprising strength. Guys, look at this map. Look at this. This is wild. Do you see how much of this was blue? It was mostly blue in 2020, right? Dude, the map is now mostly red. Oh my gosh, California. We were just saying in the episode like last week, man, the weather is so nice out there. If we could flip California red. Hey, you know what? Maybe Gavin Newsom is the guy to help us get there. You guys know what the #1 biggest piece of evidence is that MSNBC, ABC, CNN are losing their influence? We talk about it right over here. Did you know Mark Zuckerberg and whatever cabal of big money interests he represents are desperate to replace Elon Musk? It's hilarious how far they're trying to go to rebrand this lizard in a skin suit. Check it out.